Welcome back to the Tennessee Frugal Craftsman. I've got all the trims cut out for the last dormer in the attic. There was two, and this is the second one. So I thought I would show you, I'm going to put a coat of paint on it. So I'll show you, kind of explain what this molding is, kind of the price that it would cost to buy. I hand-made it all. Alright, so these first two boards, these are about 5-inch boards. These are my freeze boards. As you can see, it's got the angle already on it. It's clear pine. And this is what's countering or hitting the roof. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the back, I'm going to put a coat on it as well, that first coat, so it has a sealed coat. Give this a really good coat. This will probably get 2 good solid coats, especially the end. The back I put one on. The edge, good coat on the edge. Do the face last. That way the part that's going to be down next to the or against the wall, backside, it's a little smudged, that doesn't matter. Now I've already taken and sanded these. I ran them through my planer, but for a good finish, it's always nice to put a coat, or sorry, to run the sander across it. My planer sometimes ripples it a bit. That was one side. Using my paint station here, you can catch my last video showing you how I use this to do my siding. I also use it for my trims. By putting a couple coats down here on the ground as opposed up next to the eave, when you're up on the roof, I don't have to cut in around my roofing or anything like that. So I don't get paint on all of that. I'm just using a simple 2-inch brush here, multi-purpose. I'm sure, you know, if I was doing it all at once, I probably would use a bigger brush, but I'm doing trims, narrow trims, wide trims, so the 2-inch seems to work nicely. Stuff in it. This is the freeze board that's going on the face of the dormer. Probably could get by without doing these edges, but this is my home and I'm forever home, so to speak. And want it to last. Now I could use a roller on this like I do my siding, but I have found that paintbrush puts a better finish on it. At least on trims. Now this wider board is actually the face board. Not the freeze board, but the face board. I do the same thing with that, give it a good coat. Part that hits or gets close to the roofing there, the slope. Now there's a couple knots right here, not big, and they'll be up underneath where the roofing comes down. Now these face boards, like I said, these are clear as well. Everything I use on the outside as much as possible, I try to use clear. I've kind of picked through my pine boards. So clear pine, you go to Lowe's or to one of the building centers, quickly realize that it's not cheap. So roughly my 10-inch freeze boards, on one of my earlier videos I had priced them out 1x10 by 16s clear, and they were about $110 a length. They had them at 8-foot lengths and they were $55 a piece plus tax. So these ones, 1x6, probably running half that. Rainy day here in eastern Tennessee. A lot of rain. So last night before the rain started, yesterday evening, I came out and got all of my measurements and cut everything out, because I'm doing that outside. So I could do this today, at least part of the way. Front face board. Baseboards are around about 5¼ inches wide on the dormers. On the main house, they're about 6½. Now the reason that these are a little bit narrower is I do not like on those small dormers big heavy baseboards. I don't know whether you've ever seen some people when they're framing they use the same size baseboards and it makes those little dormers look really lopsided, imbalanced I should say. So I used 2x4s to frame my dormers on the roof because they were small dormers. And so that made my baseboards, I made my baseboards a little bit smaller. Purposely. All right, now these here are actually my soffit. Cut them to length, to the width. So they're ready to go. At least once they're painted. Now what I did is I'm using, you can get venting at the 8-foot-long vents at the building center. I got mine at Lowe's. I'll show you here in a second. On a clean one, okay, these are clear 1x8s approximately. So to do this dormer, the soffits would probably cost just this piece here, probably right around $40, $30 to $40 for one piece. Now, on this, what I did is I routed this edge with just a little round over. Takes away from the sharp, because this is 3/4 of an inch thick. And then on this side is square, because my vent actually fits down inside of here. So this is about 2 1/16 inch gap. And then I'll just staple my venting in here and put some fly screen over it. Most of that vent doesn't come with any fly screen. So I like to put a little bit of fly screen on it. Give it a little bit more protection for bugs, especially the small ones. I've allowed 4 feet. These pieces come in 8-foot lengths. So I put 4 feet in each side. I can get a nice, waist. Just ran those through with the table saw, set the fence. And these are the window trims. So on these, you can actually see I ran my table saw, ran these through the table saw and notched them in about 1 5/8 and took about 1/8 of an inch off. That is to accommodate for, on those vinyl windows, the nailer flange, and so this will actually slip into the J on the window. If not, this doesn't fit that well, so that's why I do the coat front and back. First coat. Trims like this probably run you $5 a piece. All clear pine, that's where the cost is. Okay, these are the exterior corners. I've already got the angles on them where they're going to meet the roof. I just 45'd them, glued them up, filled the nail holes. And so I'm going to paint inside and out again. It will have to be cut to length, but the bottom I'll get 2 good coats of paint on. Last corner. At least for this dormer. I never put my corners right down against the roof anyway. I keep it up about 1/4 of an inch so the water won't wick up into it, or less chance of that. Plus, if you've ever changed a roof, replaced an old roof, having the trims, everything right down tight, it's really hard. Get your siding off or get your roofing off, get the new roofing on. So while it may look nice in the beginning, to have everything right down tight, it doesn't, the trims won't last as long, and later, a lot harder to work with. Okay, the very last thing I gotta do, these are the caps for the bottom of the freeze board, which the siding comes up against. So these are running about 1 inch, or sorry, 3/4 of an inch by 1.5 inches. And they just sit up, the freeze board sits like that. This sits like that there. And then you've got the full 1.5 inches on the bottom, and your siding is usually about 3/4 of an inch double lap. And so you've got a nice bead when you're done. I just use a round over again. Made these extra long instead of cutting a piece of board all up into little small pieces. I just kept it long, and I can always use it elsewhere, the pieces that are left over. Like all the rest of them, I sanded this as well. Everything as smooth as possible. Probably overkill. It's up high enough, most people would never see this. But I know it's there. I was always told, you want to know whether a carpenter's it takes pride in their work. Open up a closet and see how they've trimmed out the doors on the inside of the closet. All right, now we have the freeze boards, the face boards, the soffit, the window trim, the corner boards, and now a couple of the soffit as well, and the caps. And then all this other stuff is stuff going on other parts of the house, but I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to put your first couple coats on and down here on the ground like I'm doing. You can do a lot nicer job. You don't have to be as careful, and you don't have to worry about getting on everything. And then you just put the final top coat on. It's just to fill the nail heads and give it one last freshened up coat. So appreciate you joining me. It was a different video, more informational again on what I'm doing with these dormers and kind of the work that goes into just the trims. So on this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, somewhere right around 15 or 20 pieces to do this. But once they are all painted and pretty much cut to length, just have to do the kind of final touch-ups. The eave work comes together fairly quickly, and then I can start the siding. So appreciate you joining me. If you would, please like and subscribe. Be looking for the next video. Until then, you have a great day.